going on, everyone? It's Brandon with Koji Fine Jewelry, Shore Personal Jeweler. I wanted to make an in-depth, honest review on the barrel lock, the box lock, what to expect, long-term use, the pros and cons. You guys get it. These are popular, rightfully so. So with that being said, let's get started. Featured in this video around my wrist is an 18 karat 6mm rope bracelet with the 18 karat plain barrel lock. Honestly, I had an extra scrap piece from a chain and I was like, I gotta do something with this. Let's make a barrel lock, a bracelet, and make a video out of it. Turn some lemons into lemonade. So here we go around my wrist. Now, the barrel lock is the same as the box lock, same mechanism. They work the same, just depends on the link style. So if it's a rope franco, you're gonna have a rounded link. You're gonna go with the barrel lock. If you have a Cuban link, a flat curve, whatever style link chain, you're gonna go with the box lock, but they both work the same. You have that male end, the tongue that sticks in and clicks. We all love to hear it, as well as what I call the little cricket legs on the side that latch those in place. And the main point I want to take is long-term durability, because when you go with a barrel or box lock, you're thinking security, and no means am I saying that the lobster class is more secure than a barrel or box lock, but long-term, it's no saint. They do wear down because that tongue that clicks in place is gold, as well as those side security latches are gold, and the more you click it, the more you unlatch it, the more it kind of wears down and softens up and loosens up, really. So less clicking action over time, and those latches, there's not as much resistance as when it was brand new. So you have to kind of keep that in mind with these locks, and that is the main point, is over time, they soften up, they wear down, and that click does not become as much of a click, as well as those latches less resistant. So you kind of have to watch out for that. If it was the best lock in the world, with that lock, you wouldn't need safety latches. So already you have those safety latches for a reason, because that tongue in time will wear down. Shout out to those who noticed the new diamond dome pinky ring on my finger. This is now available on the website. I will be posting a review in the product description, as well as posting that same review on our Instagram page at Koji Fine Jewelry. Follow us for more jewelry reviews, but that ring is new and it's loaded with diamonds. I love it. Now let's talk about the barrel look cosmetically. I know this point will hit home with some people. It is thicker or bigger than the 6mm rope bracelet itself, and you kind of want it that way. I get requests for small box locks or small barrel locks. I don't like it, because when you got these small little parts, these small little safety latches, and these little tongues that barely click, over time, that just means it's gonna wear a lot faster. Those smaller pieces, you're better off with a lobster class. Honestly, I get 3mm, 2mm, 4mm requests. I prefer just keep it with the bigger chains, because you get a bigger box lock or bigger barrel lock, which just means it's stronger. Same concept with chains. The more gold on a chain, the more durable it is. It's more holding that there. So if you just look on the wrist, to me, it's a little bit much. It does feel good because it is locked in there. It's a barrel lock, has the prestige, but the weight is there, so it feels a little bit top heavy, and it is just a lot thicker than that 6mm rope. So if you're picky in particular about that, and you want more of a flush look for a rounded style chain like the rope chain, then the barrel lock might not be for you. Overall, I do feel the lobster class is more comfortable compared to the barrel lock. Another point I really want to make is, and it doesn't really apply with bracelets, mainly with chains, is pairing it with pendants. I made a video about this a while back, but I gotta bring it back. These are a nightmare. People all the time, can I get a standard Jesus piece? I got a 5mm. No, it's not gonna happen. The barrel locks or box locks, because of the cricket legs and all that, and you want a nice big lock, because that just means it's that much more secure. It's not gonna fit these bails. Here is the large line with a large bail. It's a good, in my opinion, works well with a 6mm chain, but you see no chance that it's gonna fit the 6mm barrel lock. Now let me take the lobster class 6mm rope. It's the same chain, just this is the lobster class, and it fits right through and looks good. This is the large line, so it's a sizable bail, sizable pendant, but with these barrel locks or box locks, it's just kind of a stretch, and then you get into these custom bails, and they're wide, they're big, and takes away from the pendant. So you have to make a choice there as to how you're gonna fit a box or barrel lock, because most pendants will not fit that. Last point I want to make, another important point, is the sizing. Now this directly applies to bracelets because you don't have as much leniency as to say a chain where if you go up a ½ inch, it's not that big of a deal unless you're super set on your stack and you're layering it and you're comfortable. Is the barrel locks tend to be from end to end of the barrel lock, just like this one I have, and this is a pretty standard size, is a ½ inch. Now if we go with a lobster clasp setup, from end cap to end cap, we got about an inch or a little over an inch, so you have to factor that in. How does that work in? Well, if you have an 8-inch bracelet that fits you perfect, and you send that bracelet into a jeweler, and you have the lobster clasp on that with the end caps, you send it into a jeweler, they're gonna take that, put about a ½ inch barrel lock on there, or if it's a smaller one, a little smaller than that, and guess what? It's a lot more snug. It's not gonna fit. So you have to keep that in mind. A lot of people buy bracelets from me and like, hey, can I send it in? I'm like, just remember, I don't accept exchange or trade, so you have to use your bracelet. But when I add the barrel lock, because you lose that length with the lobster clasp, because I measure my bracelets, my chains end to end, lobster clasp to the end cap, so the total length is applied. So if you have an 8-inch, you slap on a ½ inch barrel lock, you're gonna lose that ½ inch. It's gonna be too tight, so keep that in mind. And again, if you do that with the chain, it's not that big of a deal to go from like a 24-inch to a 23.5 inch if that's all you have. But if you have it well stacked and barely enough room and you don't wear chains to tangle, all that stuff, keep that in mind. You're gonna lose that length overall if you add a barrel lock. Those are the most important points I wanted to make about the barrel or box lock. It is an upgraded feature. You're gonna pay more to add a barrel or box lock depending on what it is, but it's your preference and what's important to you. It definitely is more secure than the standard lobster clasp. I'm more of a lobster clasp guy. It sounds funny. You'd think everything I own would be upgraded, but I like the comfort of a lobster clasp. I don't really wear barrel locks on the chains or anything. I just go with my lobster clasp. Again, 5.5 flat curve, 11 years worn every day, has never failed me. So I like it, but I understand the need and want for the barrel or lobster clasp. Those are the things you have to keep in mind, consideration. Smash that like button. Thank you guys for watching. That's it for today's video, and we'll see you on our next jewelry video.